Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. Today I'm going to be showing you the best PvE build for a Titan. We're going to have some gameplay of this build at the end, but I've put this build together. It's took me a little while and I've asked some of the people at main Titan PvE wise, some of the best players, and they have said that this build is really underrated and it's one that a lot of sort of top PvE players have been using, but it's not really talked about. So I thought today what we'd do is I'd show this build off. Now before we do start with today's video, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, drop a like down below, because when we do get to 30k subs guys, I'll be releasing a 30k montage and it is going to be really well edited, so you're not going to really want to miss that. But with that out of the way, we're going to jump into the build. Now it is one that shocked me guys, I wasn't expecting it, but for this build you're going to want bottom tree Sunbreaker. Now we'll talk about the build. Grenades wise, it doesn't really matter. To be honest, I'd use fusion grenades just because it's going to be the easiest. Towering barricade, and obviously it doesn't matter sort of what drum you use. But for this build we do have Sol Invictus, Soul ability kills restore your health, grenade melee ability and Sun Warrior kills leave a deadly sunspot in their wake. Then we have Mortar Blast, strike an enemy with this melee ability to release a solar explosion, setting nearby enemies on fire. Then we do have Sun Warrior, which is a really good perk. Passing through a sunspot causes your grenade and melee abilities to recharge faster and your super to last longer. It also increases all the damage you do. So this pairs up with this right here guys. And then we do have hammers create a sunspot on impact. While standing in sunspots you throw hammers faster. So basically we're going to be sort of building this build around that. So now you guys know I don't main Titan, so I've tried to make this build the best I can with sort of the resources that I did have. So for the weapon I'd recommend the Witherhood. Now for this build you are going to need a 7 Seraph weapon. This can be any, could be the shotgun, could be the SMG. For today we're using the SMG just because it's more viable in my opinion. And then obviously we just have a sword, which is, so I've sort of built this build around the average PvE player because everyone's going to be using swords this season, so I've built it around that. So overall the super and the weapons are really good. Artifact mods, as you can tell we don't really use any of these artifact mods, to be honest. I don't think in any of this. I think the only ones we use is enhanced sword scavenger, so make sure you get them if you haven't got it already. Now with the helmet what we're going to be running, and obviously guys like I said this armour isn't sort of masterwork or anything like that. I've tried to get it the best I can with what I've got, that's why it's only 1010. But you're going to want to sort of have a high intellect build with this guys, and I'll show you why later on in the video. But for the helmet we do have special ammo finder, and then we have submachine gun finder, just simply because we're going to want the ammo to increase our DPS. So that's sort of our ammo build for the helmet. Moving on to the arms guys. Now the arms that we do have, this is where it gets really interesting. We're going to be using concussive dampener, reduces incoming area of effect damage from combatants. It just helps you survive, because especially with my build it's pretty low on resilience, and I imagine most of yours is. I'd recommend going for at least 4 resilience guys. Like you people at main Titan can get definitely a better build than I've got in this video, obviously stats wise. Momentum transfer, causing damage with a grenade reduces your melee cooldown, and then we do have causing damage with a grenade greatly reduces your melee cooldown. So using that grenade to obviously pair it up with a melee is going to be crucial in this build, and it's definitely one that you need to have on guys. Remember these are solar, most of these, so just check sort of what element they are if they're struggling. Now the Hallowfire heart is what makes this sort of really good. Now we don't have any perks, it's just rank 1, so what we're going to do is just stick any random perk on this. So we may as well put that one again, area of effect damage, but like I said you can also customise this sort of to the SMG or anything like that. Now like I said, the thing that makes this so good and why you need this exotic mainly is improves the recharge rate of your solar abilities, greatly increases recharge rate while your super is charged. So pretty much this exotic piece is going to be getting your melee back, your grenade back super quickly, and even when you're supered or you have your super sort of full, you'll be getting it back even quicker. And for this build you will see how overpowered this thing really is. Now what we do have for our boots is just, this is one of the most important perks, guys, and it is Wrath of the Rasputin. Now this was from a couple of seasons ago, I do believe, so if you haven't got this, this build isn't going to work. But if you guys do want me to make a build that will work this season as well, make sure to sort of drop a like and drop a comment saying you want one done with this seasonal mods. But like I said, because obviously I'm making the best possible build, we have to use this. So we do have Enhanced Sword Scavenger on 2 of them. That's just simply because we can get our ammo a lot more than what we should be getting, which is really handy, especially for this season with the swords. Wrath of Rasputin, defeating a combatant with a 7 seraph weapon has a chance to drop a Warmind cell. Multiple copies of this mod do not stack. Solar splash damage final blows have a chance to create Warmind cells. So pretty much what we're going to be doing is synergizing all of this build. Now it is a little bit confusing at the minute, but you'll see in the gameplay sort of how these Warmind cells work. And to be honest, I never realised how overpowered these were until I talked to the top PvE players, and they said you should definitely be using this if you have it. So that is what we've got on that. And then the last one on our cloak, we have got gain super energy on sword final blows, and then we've got reduces melee cooldown each time you pick up an orb, and then we do have an intellect mod on that. Pretty much we've synergised all this to be getting our super back best we can. Now the stats I said aren't the best on mine, just because obviously I've not got the right armour, because I don't really play Titan. But you want to aim for high intellect, pretty much a decent recovery and resilience. You want to be aiming for at least 4 or 5 on these two, and at least I'd say 7 or 8 for intellect. And try and get just an average build, guys. It works the best apparently, so try and go for like all 50s if you can. But we're going to test this out, and I'm going to show you some gameplay of this on the brand new Contact event on IO, which is where we do all the testing, and it's really overpowered, so we'll see, and I'll show you how to use these Warmind cells effectively. Right guys, so let's go and test out this build the best we can. Like I said, it's going to take a little while to get used to, because it's probably something you've never really done before in Destiny. I know it was a shock to me to see how many of the top players were using this build, and the amount of damage this does is just stupidly overpowered. So we're going to rally on this banner, and we're going to see, obviously what you're going to want to be doing to obviously maximise this. The way I do it is I don't use my super unless I really have to. You really want to just be charged with your super so you get your things back. Now we're going to be using our solo abilities, so what we want to do is melee. Now when we do melee, we have a chance to drop one of them orbs, guys. And as you can tell, that one melee took out quite a lot. But if we just start getting kills with our weapon, what's going to happen is eventually we're going to drop a Warmind cell. Now as you can see, this Warmind cell that drops here, we're going to wait, and once you shoot this, this has a really explosive damage. So we're going to be pairing it up with a 7 seraph, and this can wipe out so many hordes, guys, like incredibly fast. It's pretty insane how quick this sort of build does work. Now we do have a chance to generate them off grenades and everything like that, but your best bet is to use your 7 seraph, and all you want to do is once this orb's dropped, shoot it, and as you can tell, we've wiped out all that horde there. And like, I couldn't believe how good this build really is, and you should definitely try it. Not only that, you've got pretty much unlimited nades and sort of melees. Look how quickly our nades and everything are sort of going up. It's so good. Now we do have an overload here, so you do have that damage with this sword. This is why this build's so good, just to wipe out an overload like that when you need to. We're going to try and show you this obviously in a minute. Once we get onto a higher wave with the contact event. Look, there's a ball there, so if we shoot that ball, as you can tell, wipes everything out, and it is definitely the best build in my opinion. So like when you want to pop your supers, probably like now when they're immune and everything, don't hold on to it forever guys, because obviously you're going to be getting it back. Just try and hold on to it until you think is the right moment. But even without sort of your supercharge, look how quickly your grenades are sort of regenning, and that's without high discipline guys. I think we've got around about a 4 on this Titan, so yeah, nothing too special. And then you've got your sword for your DPS, and we do also have Witherhoard for DPS. Just going to take this ball back. But pretty much I think I've shown you everything in this build that there is to see. Hopefully you guys understand it. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comment section. I'll just show you one last time real quickly if you're confused. So basically what you're going to want to be doing is just using your grenades, your melee, as much as you can, and you're going to want to be using your 7th Seraph weapon over and over again to generate them Warmind cells. Now when one of these does drop from an enemy, it's totally random, but as you can tell, once they do drop, if you shoot them, it has such a big explosion damage, and that is going to wipe out a lot of hordes. But that's going to wrap up today's build. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Let me know if this build worked for you, and as always guys, I'll catch you in the next one.